With Christmas being right around the corner, I thought I would just try to do a really quick update on the ice machines that I use, because I know you guys are curious and want to get some for yourself. So this is my Pribcho ice machine. It's the big one. And I just fired it up. So it's empty right now. So the thing that's really good about this particular machine is you can fill it by using bottled water. And I bought this one bottle for, I don't know how much, let's say $13. It's 5 gallons. I got it from Lowe's. And I've been reusing it the entire time. It suggests that you should use a brand new one each time. No, I'm not having any troubles. So I'd only fill it up about halfway, because if I fill it up all the way, it's too heavy for me personally. So I fill it up about halfway. And when I do put it up here, I spill water everywhere. So I have a towel down here because I just spilled water everywhere. But if you don't have hookups, you have to use the drain tube, which comes down and drains into this bucket. And that's just whatever hard water residue. I just leave it set up like this all the time. So if I don't go through this entire amount of water this afternoon, it will just gradually drain out and then down into the hose and into the bucket. Look at that. Okay. Oh, ouch. I stepped on the ironing cord. All right, so I've got it turned on. It's now going to create ice. So when you get your machine, there's a lever in here. It can twist either, so it can twist like this. If you're going to be connected to a water line in your house, you turn it this way. I'm using the bottled water, so I have it turned up. And I'm going to set my thickness to, I want it to go, I found that if I go -4, it's just the right amount of thickness of ice for my ice dyeing. Okay, so we'll come back a little later. Let's see. It's about, well, here, this is what time it is. I'll come check it after a while and show you what the ice cubes look like, okay? All right, moving on to the next gen Frigidaire machine. I love this machine. I love my old machine 1,000%. I love this 2,000,000%. This machine has massive improvements. All right, so this is where you add the water. And mine is already pretty full because I'm constantly making ice. But I take my Kool-Aid jug here. Oh, I'm gonna try to do this without spilling everywhere, but also recording it. So it just goes into this top area. You fill it up. I'm doing it terribly because I can't really see what I'm doing. Okay, so you pour the water up in there. I don't like how much water I just spilled everywhere, so I'm just gonna, I try to take care of my machines and then they take care of me. Okay, and then all you do is just close the drawer. One-handed, difficult. Okay. Now it's closed. Now the machine does its thing, so it's on ice. The power is on. When it gets full, this light will come on, and when it needs water, it will come on. Super simple. Let me move this out of the way just so I don't want to knock it down and spill it on the floor. Okay, now here's where I get my ice. Look at all that. So my bucket is pretty much almost full. It's still making ice, but this probably took about an hour and a half to get completely full. All right, I love it. And you just close the drawer here. Now, it will drip a little bit, and this is what this little tray here is for. That's for me spilling water just now, filling it. I always keep a towel right here just because, I mean, water happens when you're dealing with ice. Now, this machine does not keep the ice frozen, but it recirculates. So if I just leave this alone and don't come back for an entire day, it's gonna melt. The water will go back up into the machine, make more ice, and it just keeps continuously making ice. So sometimes when you see me work with my ice, it looks really wet. It's because it's kind of melted, or I've had it sitting on the table for, 20 minutes or whatever. But when you have fresh ice, like this is really fresh ice. Look at those nuggets. Beautiful. I love this machine, you guys, okay? So let me see if I can get some out. So what you guys see me do in the YouTube videos, or the tie-dye videos, is I take my little scooper and I fill up my bowl. And normally I have 2 hands to do this, but this is what I do. Okay, I'm going to put it back in there for now because I'm not making any tie-dye at this moment. Now I must say this, tie-dyers, I would never use this to eat and drink with because I'm using it for my tie-dye. I try really hard to make sure that I don't cross-contaminate dye into the machine, but you never know, okay? So that's just the one thing. If you're gonna get this for tie-dyeing, keep it as your tie-dye machine. Or, I mean, do whatever you want, to each their own, but I personally, now that this has become out here in my tie-dye world, I'm not going to use this for human consumption. But it's really that easy. Now, you will notice there is a little bit of dripping here. I think that's pretty minimal considering that this ice is melting, and when I pull out the drawer, look at all that wet, melty ice water down there. Having a couple of drips is no big deal. And also, I can't really do a sound test because I have the big machine running next to it, but it's quiet. I mean, the motor hums. There's no grinding gear sounds. Sometimes my old machine would make like this really huge squealing sound. This machine so far is not doing any of that. I absolutely love, 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 love this machine. And I just want you guys to have the opportunity to get yourself something that works. That's why I'm sharing it. And then we're gonna come back in a couple of hours and see what the Pribcho has been up to. So it's about to drop its very first batch of ice, and the first batch is always kind of thin. I think those coils or whatever they're called need to get really cold. So here we go. About to fall. All right. So the first ice is dropped. Let's take a look at it. So, see, it's not very thick yet. The next ice cubes will be thicker. But see, it just immediately starts to fill the tray back up. So not only is this good for tie dyeing, but I guess if you had maybe a small business or something where you needed to create ice for drinks or food preparation, this is like a mini industrial type machine. So, and let's see. So what was it? It was like $2.40 or $2.45. So not bad for what? A little over a half an hour. That's quite a bit of ice already. I'm out here working on taking photographs, so I'm able to catch it when it is about to drop because I can hear it. So we're getting some good footage this time. A batch of ice has just recently dropped, and this is one thing with this machine that you need to watch for. So you see how it's just dropped this big sheet, and there's this like lever flap thing. This is what tells the machine it's full, and it's going to stop bringing down the water. So I guess if you were using this for a business, it's not going to make more ice than what you can handle. But since I'm trying to work on making batches of ice so that I can bag it up to put into my freezer, I have to watch out for this. So look what happens when I move this sheet of ice away. Well, I guess that one too. See how that flap popped back up? Instantly the water goes back into making more ice. Here, let me show you what this ice looks like. Nice ice cubes. And I will use my big scoop. This came with the machine, and I just kind of break it up. So let's check the clock. All right, so it's been an hour. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out a bag and bag this up, and let's see how much ice we got in an hour. Okay, we'll be right back. So I just emptied out the machine, and let's just call it 4 o'clock. Let's just make it easy on ourselves, okay? And so, as you can see, I just emptied it out, and it's making a new batch of ice. Now let's go over to the table. This is what I got. So the first hour, or a little over an hour, gave me what I would consider a half bag of a 10-pound bag of ice. Okay, so I think that's pretty good for this machine. Now I call it my Pribcho machine, but they don't sell that anymore. That it has several different names. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick this into my little mini freezer, and then we'll come back and make more ice. I'm just really trying to show you guys, stop spending money at the convenience store when you can do it yourself. Oh, I wanted to do the Frigidaire, but, well, real quick, see it says ice full, and I'm not going to do any more with the Frigidaire. This is what it looks like when it's full. Awesome ice. You can hear it running. It just filled up the little ice area with water. And that's all the sound you're going to hear, okay? So that's the Frigidaire Gallery, 2nd generation. Make sure you order this one. Do not order the 1st gen. Don't do it. All right, let's see. It's getting ready to drop into our empty area here. Here it comes. All right. So, decent ice cubes. Remember, I have it set to drop quickly. I think it's every 12 minutes. Let's see, what does it say? Oh, every 7 minutes. Ice making. Yeah, I have it on -4. So in another 7 minutes, it's going to drop. So you can't complain about that, right? Okay, so we're doing pretty good. I think I'm going to probably pull this. So let's see. We're on a couple hours now. So I'm going to bag this up, see what we've got, and then call it a day. What I just did was I emptied out the bin, and I'm actually going to stop the machine because my freezer is full and I can't make any more ice. So I'm going to say off. And ultimately, I'm going to reach down here and I'm going to unplug it. Well, let me just see if I can do it. See, it's all grainy now because we're getting low light. I unplug my machine when it's not in use because there's no reason for me to make more ice. My freezer is full. And here is the drain bucket. So there's just a little bit of ice. You can't see, or water. I mean, it's getting grainy, like I said. Okay, so now I'm going to just show you. It took a couple hours, but I have an entire full-size bag of ice. And the ice is good, full ice cubes. I could make thicker ice if I wanted a really hard, solid cube. I could make it that way if I wanted to. But for what I do with this machine as a tie dyer is I make ice dye, and I don't want big ice. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and click the bell and set it to all. That way you get notified of future uploads. And remember, have fun tie dyeing.